You've prayed, you've waited, you've begged for signs, but what if I told you the God you've been pleading with has never been distant at all? What if the power you've searched for has always been the very awareness that's listening to these words right now? Feel that stillness within you, the one observing, the one aware. That, my friend, is God, not in a temple, not in the heavens, but in you. They told you God was to be worshipped, feared, obeyed, but I tell you, God is to be realized, for the name of God is I am, and before any name, any form, or any belief, you were aware. That awareness is the creative power of the universe. For centuries, humanity has looked upward, outward, waiting for permission to create, to heal, to prosper. We've imagined a God beyond the clouds, separate from ourselves. But here lies the forgotten truth. God is not watching you. God is being you. Every thought, every assumption, every I am you declare is an act of creation. When Moses asked, "Who shall I say sent me?" the answer thundered, "I am that I am." Not a name, a state of being. It is not he is, not they are. It is I am. And that same I am speaks through you each moment you affirm your existence. But if God truly is our own awareness, how then do we create? How does this power move from thought to form? Close your eyes. Imagine a scene, a single moment where your deepest desire has already come true. Feel it, the joy, the relief, the gratitude. That feeling is the creative act. For God's power moves through imagination. Imagination is not a fantasy. It's the womb of creation. Everything you see in this world was first imagined. Every invention, every empire, every love story, born in the unseen realm of thought. The universe responds not to your words, but to your assumptions, to the emotional conviction behind your imagination. But what happens when your outer world seems unchanged, when the evidence denies your inner vision? The law of assumption states simply, that which you assume to be true becomes true. If you persist in the belief that you are poor, unloved, or powerless, the world will mirror that back. But if you live, breathe, and feel as though your desire is already fulfilled, reality must rearrange itself to match that assumption. You don't wait for change to believe. You believe, and change follows. You don't ask for proof. You become the proof. To say I am is to command reality itself. So I ask you, what follows your I am? For that, you are constantly creating. Take a breath. Look around you. Everything you see began in the unseen. You are not a spectator in this universe. You are its author. And every word you write begins with I am. The forgotten truth about God is this. God was never outside of you. God is your imagination. God is your awareness. And the moment you claim it, the moment you feel it as real, the power returns to its rightful owner, you. Tonight, when you close your eyes, ask yourself, what am I declaring with my I am? Have I been creating from fear or from faith, from waiting or from knowing? Will you dare to live as the creator or remain a follower of your own illusions? Because the truth is no longer forgotten. It's remembered right here, right now, in you. They say you must wait for life to change before you can believe. But I tell you, life changes because you believe. Every experience you call reality is nothing more than the reflection of what you've assumed to be true about yourself. The secret of manifestation is not in action, not in effort, but in assumption. When you assume a state and feel it as though it were already real, the world must rearrange itself to match your conviction. This is the law that governs all creation, the law of assumption. So I ask you now, what are you assuming about yourself right now? Because that quiet belief, that unspoken conviction, is the seed from which your entire world grows. To live in the end means to abandon waiting. It means to stop begging, stop hoping, and begin being. If you desire love, stop yearning for it. Become the one who is loved. If you desire wealth, stop chasing it. Live now as one who already possesses it. This is not delusion. It is alignment, for every state of consciousness already exists. You are simply choosing which one to occupy. When you imagine yourself in the state of your wish fulfilled and feel it as true, the unseen world begins to conspire in silence. Circumstances shift. People appear. Paths unfold. But what about doubt? What about the moments when the world screams the opposite of what you've imagined? Faith is not believing in spite of the evidence. Faith is ignoring the evidence and trusting the unseen law behind it. You must persist in the assumption, even when nothing seems to change, especially then. The old world will resist you. It will whisper, "Look around. Nothing's different," but you must answer, "It is done." Your persistence is the bridge that carries imagination into form. Each night before sleep, you plant the seed through feeling, and each morning, through persistence, you water it. Doubt will come, as it always does. It is the final illusion, the test of whether you truly know who you are. When you look at your circumstances and feel fear, remember, you are not seeing reality, only the shadow of your old assumptions still fading away. The world is a delayed mirror. It reflects not what you wish, but what you accept. So when doubt appears, smile, for it is proof that your new assumption has begun to disturb the old order. And if the mirror only reflects what we assume, then where truly is the point of creation? Where does imagination touch the infinite? Pause for a moment. Feel the chair beneath you, the breath within you, the silence behind the sound of my words. That stillness, that awareness, is your creative center. Now close your eyes tonight and imagine one scene, the end of your desire already fulfilled. Hear the words you'd hear, feel the joy you'd feel, sense the gratitude that would fill your heart. Hold that feeling, sleep in it, and when you wake, walk as though it were already so. Do this, not once, not as a ritual, but as a knowing, for creation is finished. All states exist, waiting for you to assume them. What state will you assume today? Will you live as the one who waits or the one who already is? Because the moment you choose, the universe bends to your decision. The law never fails. It simply mirrors what you dare to believe. Everything you have ever experienced, every success, every heartbreak, every miracle has passed through one gate, the subconscious mind. It is the silent builder behind all creation. It never sleeps. It never argues. It simply accepts what you impress upon it and makes it real. You may call it fate, luck, or coincidence. But in truth, it is only your own subconscious mind obeying the last command you gave it. Feel the weight of that truth. Every belief, every emotion, every assumption you persist in becomes flesh through this unseen power. But how does it work? How does this invisible force bring imagination into reality? The subconscious mind is not separate from God. It is the creative aspect of God moving through you. When I say God is your imagination, I mean this literally. The imagination plants the seed, and the subconscious nurtures it into form. Whatever you accept as true about yourself, the subconscious receives without question. It does not reason. It does not analyze. It obeys. That is why Christ said, "According to your faith, be it unto you." Because faith is nothing more than the assumption impressed upon the subconscious. You may consciously desire wealth, but if in your heart you still believe in lack, that belief will dominate. The subconscious serves only one master, the feeling of reality. So how do we command this infinite power? Not by words alone, but through feeling. When you imagine a scene of fulfillment, and you feel it so vividly that it seems real, you are speaking the language of the subconscious. Emotion is its alphabet. Imagination is its voice. Repetition is its rhythm. Each night before sleep, your conscious mind relaxes, and the subconscious becomes most impressionable. That is the sacred hour. In that stillness, imagine the wish fulfilled. Hear the voices congratulating you. Feel the joy of having already received. Let that feeling carry you into sleep. The subconscious will take your vision and begin to weave the outer world to match it. But if the subconscious is so obedient, what happens when we fill it with fear, with doubt, with limitation? Understand this. You are always manifesting, whether you realize it or not. Every fear, every worry, every "I can't" you repeat becomes an order to your subconscious, and it obeys faithfully. If you constantly imagine illness, your body will respond. If you persist in lack, your circumstances will echo that belief. This is not punishment. It is law. The subconscious mirrors whatever you assume to be real, good or bad, light or dark. It has no moral filter. It simply says, so it is. And so, the question is not, is it working? The question is, what have I been telling it? Faith is the movement of the unseen. It is the bridge between your conscious desire and subconscious creation. To have faith means to live as though your wish is already fulfilled, to walk, to speak, to breathe in the knowing that it is done. The subconscious responds to this conviction instantly, because to it, imagination is reality. When you truly believe, your inner world becomes law, and the outer world must conform. But faith cannot coexist with doubt. For the moment you question, you impress uncertainty, and the subconscious begins to mirror confusion. Faith is not fragile. It is not blind. It is the quiet certainty that what you have imagined exists now and must be seen in due time. So tonight, as you prepare for sleep, ask yourself, what am I impressing upon my subconscious? Do not drift into sleep thinking of what you fear. Instead, feel the reality of your fulfilled desire. Let it be the last emotion before you surrender to dreams. For the moment between wake and sleep is the golden gate. It is there that the veil between conscious and subconscious thins, and creation begins. Imagine vividly, feel deeply, sleep faithfully. Do this each night, and the invisible will become visible. The imagined will take shape. The word will become flesh. You are not at the mercy of chance. You are the sculptor of reality, shaping it from within. Your subconscious is not your enemy. It is your divine ally. It waits only for your command. So I ask you now, what new story will you impress tonight? What image will you dare to believe in so completely that the world must rearrange to match it? Declare, this is the new state I live from, because the moment you claim it, your subconscious begins to move heaven and earth to make it so. There comes a moment in every creator's journey when the world goes silent. You have imagined, you have assumed, you have felt your desire as real, and yet nothing seems to move. It is here, in this sacred silence, that most give up. They call it failure. They call it fate. But I tell you, it is not the end. It is the test. Creation is not born in noise, but in stillness. And the moment you doubt the seed you've planted, you uproot it with your own hands. So, what do you do when your desire seems distant? When faith is challenged by the evidence of the senses? You persist. Persistence is not stubbornness. It is spiritual loyalty to your inner vision. You continue to feel what the world cannot yet see. You hold the tone of your fulfilled desire while the echoes of the old reality fade away. Do not mistake the delay for denial. Every assumption takes time to harden into fact. The law is unfailing, but it requires persistence in feeling. When you persist, you prove to the universe that your faith is stronger than appearances. And the universe, being but the shadow of your inner state, must yield to your conviction. But how does one remain faithful when everything around whispers defeat? What sustains the Creator when the mirror shows no reflection? Faith is not something you acquire, it is what you are. To have faith means to return to your natural state, the knowing that imagination creates reality. When I speak of faith, I do not speak of hope. Hope waits, faith knows. Faith walks as though it already possesses what it desires. It does not beg for proof, it becomes the proof. And so even when your senses scream impossible, faith whispers, it is done. This is not defiance, it is mastery. The one who walks by faith knows that every fact in this world is only a past assumption crystallized. The outer world is but a mirror reflecting your persistence. It cannot show you what you have not first assumed within. When you persist in fear, the world mirrors uncertainty. When you persist in faith, the world reflects harmony. It is not personal, it is law. So when the world contradicts your inner vision, do not argue with it. Do not fight appearances. Instead, withdraw attention from what is and give it completely to what must be. This is the secret act of creators. They do not react, they remain. Remain faithful to the end you've imagined, and the world must bow to your persistence. The outer world is but a mirror reflecting your persistence. It cannot show you what you have not first assumed within. When you persist in fear, the world mirrors uncertainty. When you persist in faith, the world reflects harmony. It is not personal, it is law. So when the world contradicts your inner vision, do not argue with it. Do not fight appearances. Instead, withdraw attention from what is and give it completely to what must be. This is the secret act of creators. They do not react, they remain. Remain faithful to the end you've imagined, and the world must bow to your persistence. Doubt will come, and that is how you know you are close. The moment before manifestation is often the moment of greatest resistance. Old beliefs fight to survive. The senses cry for your attention. But remember, doubt is only a shadow cast by your growing faith. It cannot harm you unless you worship it. Persist anyway. Persist through the noise, the fear, the emptiness, for the unseen is already arranging itself to serve you. The bridge of incidents is forming. Every event, every coincidence, guiding you silently to the fulfillment of your assumption. Tonight, when you close your eyes, return once more to the feeling of the wish fulfilled, not as a ritual, but as an act of remembrance, remembering who you truly are, the one who creates through faith. Each morning, as you rise, carry that feeling with you. Walk as though your dream is now your memory. And when doubt whispers, smile, for even that is a sign that your new reality is taking root. So I ask you, will you persist when the mirror shows no change? Will you trust the unseen when the visible world tempts you to fear? If you will discover that the universe bends not to time nor effort, but to faith unwavering. Persistence is patience married to belief, and those who persist possess. What desire will you persist in, no matter what your senses tell you? Declare it, and let the unseen world conspire to fulfill it. For the Lord does not reward the hopeful, it rewards the faithful. You have been taught that time is a straight line, that the past is fixed, the present is fleeting, and the future waits ahead. But I tell you, the past is not behind you, it lives within you. It is not a stone carved in memory. It is clay, soft and obedient to the touch of imagination. Every memory you hold is not a fact, but a vibration of consciousness, a snapshot of who you believed yourself to be in that moment. And what can be imagined can be revised. Breathe. Let that truth settle in your awareness. The past is not done with you, because you are the one sustaining it. But if the past can be reshaped, then what does that mean for the present and the life you call your future? Revision is not denial, it is redemption. When you revisit a painful memory and imagine it as you wish it had been, You are not lying to yourself. You are reclaiming authorship over your own consciousness, because everything that ever wounded you lives only in imagination, and imagination is your kingdom. Suppose you remember a moment of humiliation, a word that hurt you, a door that closed. Go back there in your mind, not as the victim, but as the creator. See the scene again, but this time, hear words of kindness. See faces smiling. Feel peace where pain once lived. Stay in that new scene until it feels more real than the old one. And then, release it. The subconscious will accept this new version as truth, and life will rearrange itself to reflect your new state of being. But how can something imagined in silence rewrite what already happened in time? Because consciousness is not bound by time. The same power that creates tomorrow also sustains yesterday. You are not a traveler moving through moments. You are the eternal presence through which moments move. When you revise, you are not changing the event. You are changing the meaning that sustains it. And the moment you do, the chain of effects born from that event begins to dissolve. This is why miracles appear as coincidence. A friend calls to reconcile. A burden lifts. The world softens because your inner story has changed its tone. Nothing outside of you has power. Only what you persist in imagining determines the path of your life. The only moment that truly exists is now. Not the now of the clock, but the eternal now of awareness, where all states, all versions of reality coexist. When you live in the end, you are not escaping the present. You are entering it more deeply than ever before, because to live in the end is to live in truth. It is to know that your desire already exists, and to walk through life as though you are remembering, not waiting. So let the past rest. Do not worship memories. Do not curse them. Revise them and bless them, and then live now, not as one seeking, but as one who has found. Your imagination is divine. It is the creative spirit of God, dreaming worlds into being. To imagine a new past, a new self, a new world, is to step into your true inheritance as the creator. Each time you close your eyes and choose a new vision, you declare, I am the author of my reality, and the universe, obedient, living, and listening, rearranges itself around your command. For reality does not exist outside of consciousness. It is consciousness, and consciousness is you. Your imagination is divine. It is the creative spirit of God, dreaming worlds into being. To imagine a new past, a new self, a new world, is to step into your true inheritance as the creator. Each time you close your eyes and choose a new vision, you declare, I am the author of my reality, and the universe, obedient, living, and listening, rearranges itself around your command. For reality does not exist outside of consciousness. It is consciousness, and consciousness is you. Take this truth and make it living. Tonight, before sleep, choose one memory and rewrite it. See it healed, whole, radiant with the love of your new awareness. What moment will you revise tonight? What new world will you imagine into being? Remember, the world is not fixed. It bends to the will of imagination, and you are the imagination of God, awakening to remember itself. You are not becoming the creator. You have always been the creator. You are simply remembering. So remember, and live as the God you are.